Hello everyone, let us start with the next paper, that is AIBE 10. This is 2017, but ये साल दो papers हुए थे in 2017 itself. Therefore, there are two editions. First is March and the second one is December. So let us start with the March paper, and then in the next lecture we'll continue with AIB 11, and that is going to be December 2017. The first question is government employees may refer their unresolved grievances and labor dispute to Bureau of Labor Relations. The objective of the EU Directive on Mediation is ensuring better access to alternative dispute resolution in cross-border commercial conflicts. Minimum number of members is required to apply for incorporation certificate in a public limited company is 7. When a bill is passed by the Parliament and the President, what is the status of the same? It becomes a law. A resides at Shimla, B at Calcutta, and C at Delhi. A, B, and C being together at Banaras, B and C make a joint promissory note, payable on demand and delivered to A. A may sue B and C. Where can they do it? All of the above. Banaras भी, Kolkata भी, Delhi भी, because there is one place wherein B resides, there is another place wherein C resides, और जो cause of action था वो बनारस में था, and therefore the right answer is all of the above. A warrant of arrest may be extended to any place within India. The chairperson of Cyber Appellate Tribunal is appointed by the central government in consultation with the Chief Justice of India. Under Section 18 of the Indian Evidence Act, the admission of which of the following person is not admissible against the other? One of the defendants. Which of the following heirs is not class 1 heir according to the Hindu Succession Act? Father. There is either theft or extortion. It is robbery. What is an adolescent as per the Factories Act of 1948? This is who is not more than 15 years but less than 18 years of age. So option C. Fulfilling the constitutional obligation under Article 300A, the Land Acquisition Act is the law providing for acquisition of land and taking over possession of land, assessment of compensation, payment of compensation, all of the above. Then let us move on to the 13th question. Complaint means allegation in writing made by a complainant that an unfair trade practice or restrictive trade practice has been adopted by any traders or service provider, right? The goods bought by him or agreed to be bought by him suffer from one or more defect, correct? Or traders or the service provider, as the case may be, has charged for the good or the services mentioned in the complaint a price in excess of the price. ये भी सही है, इसीलिए आंसर है all of the above. The maxim audi alterum partem denotes no one shall be condemned unheard. In which case the Supreme Court hold that misconduct envisages principle of discipline. ये है Noratanmal Chaurasia versus M.R. Murli. Noratanmal Chaurasia versus M.R. Murli. Here the case was misconduct envisages breach of discipline. This is what the court had held, which is not included within the meaning of artistic work under Copyright Act. ये फिर से आपको Copyright Act के अंदर भी मिल जाएगा. The answer is work of carpenter. In case of cooperative society, the maximum amount on which income tax is not chargeable is nil. A sells a field to B. There's a right of way over the field of which A has direct personal knowledge, but which he conceals from B. Therefore, B has the right to rescind the contract, and therefore it is A. B has the right to rescind the contract. मतलब cancel कर सकता है वो contract. According to the Republic Act number 6770, which of these powers is not provided to the Office of Ombudsman? The answer is function to adopt, institute, and implement preventive measures. In most EU member countries, which of the following is most visible form of ADR? EU में ज़्यादातर arbitration चलता है. A does not fall under the clause of Memorandum of Association. A here is situation. क्योंकि बाकी सारी चीजें fall करती है. Minto Morley reform is associated with which of the act? Indian Council Act of 1909. In a written statement, the defendant can claim set off, counterplaint, both. Which of the following section deals with search warrant? Section 93. Which is the leading case on environment? ये तो बहुत easy है. MC Mehta versus Union of India. If you don't know something and if the question is about environment and you see MC Mehta in the options, I would advise to go with that option. So, question 26. Which of the following statement is correct? A confession made by accused to the police officer is relevant. गलत, ये irrelevant है. A confession made by accused in police custody to a magistrate is not relevant. Wrong, this is relevant. A confession made by an accused in the police custody and discovery made from the information received from confession, both confession and discovery are relevant. Again, wrong, because only discovery is relevant, confession is not relevant, and therefore your correct answer is none of the above is correct. Preemption on the ground of Shafe-e-Jar was declared unconstitutional in the case of Bhauram versus Baijnath. The section was enacted to meet the cases of dowry death. A है 498A of IPC. Who is responsible for payment to a person employed by him in a factory under the Payment of Wages Act 1936? Owner. Which one of the following is known as Consumer Dispute Redressal Agency? All of the above. PIL is criticized on the ground of all of the above. Vikramaditya versus Smriti Jamila Khatun is an important case relating to professional misconduct due to which factor? ये था defrauding the client by exploiting the client's illiteracy. An appeal to the High Court against the order of ITAT should be filed within 60 days when the order is communicated. A contract can be specifically enforced when compensation is adequate relief for the non-performance wrong, where the contract by its nature is determinable wrong, where it involves the performance of continuous duty which the court cannot supervise, ये भी गलत है, and therefore ये none of the above है. In the Government of India Act of 1935, which subjects are included in the concurrent list? ये है all of the above. Marriage, divorce, criminal procedure, ये भी included था. Now see, I have another advice. A lot of times, there are, if you've already seen, there are many questions which come from small acts which are pre-independence act, like Government of India Act of 1935 हो गया, इसी का 1919 Act भी है, and even the Indian Independence Act of I guess 1947. Right, so ये सारे जो भी acts है, what we can do is we can take a print out of these acts, whatever relevant section चाहिए था, उसको एकदम छोटा करके एक दो पेज में, मतलब it's basically like a minuscule version of it, so that you can at least refer to it, because it is allowed to take bare acts, right, in the exam. So even though your normal bare acts might not be having these acts, you can take printouts of the same. तो जब past year papers में आपको कोई भी एक वैसी act दिखती है जो generally आपके bare acts का part form नहीं करती है, which you don't buy it from any shop to take for the exam, usually bundle आता है bare acts का. For those acts, you can note it down and then you can take printouts of the same and carry those to the examination center. Okay, let us move ahead. In which of the following cases a set-off can be claimed? A owes the partnership, this is the right answer. A owes the partnership firm of BNC rupees 1000, B dies leaving C arriving, A is used for C for a debt of 1500. Due in his separate character, C wants to set off the debt of rupees 1000. ये हो सकता है. Which case is leading case on arrest? State of West Bengal versus DK Basu. What is the maximum number of witness which can be produced in a case? No limit. Natural guardian of an adopted son under the Hindu Minority and Guardianship Act 1956 is adopted father. Adoptive father, sorry. The rule is that penal statute must be constructed strictly. To close down a factory, the occupier has to give how many days notice to the authorities? 60 days. Sorry for, yeah, 60 days. Where the complaint alleges a defect in the goods which cannot be determined without proper analysis or test of the goods, the sample of goods forwarded to the appropriate laboratory for the laboratory test. Such types of cases, such types of case finding report within dash days, ये 45 days है. When can the Supreme Court refuse to grant remedy under Article 32? Delay, malicious petition, infractions, all of the above. Which condition is not required to be satisfied by an invention to be patentable subject matter under Patent Act? Distinctiveness. A contract of indemnity under the Indian Contract Act 1872 has been defined under Section 124. In which it refers to an authority deprived from official character merely, not expressly conferred upon the individual character, but rather annexed to the official position. Ex officio. जैसे ex officio chairman कहते हैं. So basically, on the basis of one particular position, you have been given an authority. So it's a derived authority basically. Filing with the court to object owns or another's imprisonment is called habeas corpus. Under Order 33, an indigent person is allowed to prosecute any suit provided he satisfied certain conditions. Which of the following is not such a condition? He is not entitled to property worth 1,000. The concept of plea bargaining is not applicable to the offence committed against a child and a woman both. Under Indian Computer Emergency Response Team to serve as National Agency for Incident Response is constituted under Section 70B of IT Act. The Environment Protection Act 1986 came into force 19 November को आई थी 19 November 1986. Which section of the Indian Evidence Act is based on English doctrine of res geste? This answer is 6, section 6. Where in respect of family relations, the law applicable in India is personal law of the parties. Which writ is issued by the court to quash the wrongful order of a lower court? Certiorari. Liability of a drawer to compensate the drawee in case of dishonor is primarily provided under Section 30. Part 3 of Arbitration and Conciliation Act formalizes process of conciliation. Under which Supreme Court judgment action of the President to summon, prorogue and dissolve either of the houses of the Parliament shall be unconstitutional if acted without the advice of Council of Ministers? Rao versus Indira Gandhi. A decree can be transferred for execution to another court. All these conditions are correct, all of the above. Under which section of CRPC the Assistant Public Prosecutor is appointed? 25. In relation to relevancy of character in civil cases, which of the following is not correct? It is not at all relevant because it is relevant, right? इसीलिए ये see, you have to make sure that you're reading the options and questions correctly because यहाँ पे देखिए दो negatives है उसके बाद कट होकर वो positive हो जाएगा. So basically ये पूछा कि correct क्या नहीं है. So the thing is it is not at all relevant is not correct, right? Because it is relevant. So don't get confused there. Make sure you take 30 seconds, understand the question and then attempt. Because a lot of time you might find something which might seem prima facie कि यही answer है, but if you read it correctly and put your mind to it, you'll realize that maybe the question has been twisted by them. Okay, let us move forward. What should be the difference of age under Hindu Adoption and Maintenance Act 1956 if a female adopts male? 21 years. The various words used to denote mens rea under IPC are defined in the court itself, and they are: first option is correct, voluntary, dishonestly, fraudulently, and reason to believe. The term sabbatical is connected with paid leave for study. Motor Vehicles Act 1935 came into force in 1940. Which of the following cases leading case in term of deliberate delay in filing of suit resulting in huge losses to the complainant? Professor Krishnan Raj Goswami versus Vishwanath D. Mukashikar. The parties which cannot be compelled to perform specific performances of contract are provided in which section of the Specific Relief Act? 28. What is the special constitutional position of Jammu and Kashmir? It has its own constitution. अब ये जो कश्मीर से related जो भी provisions है, you have to see the the effect of it after the 2019 Reorganization Act. उसके बाद बहुत सारे changes आए हैं with respect to applicability mainly. तो आप previous year papers में there at some places there were few questions which said that where does the particular act apply, like कहाँ कहाँ अप्लाई होता है, और वहाँ पे राइट आंसर पहले जम्मू एंड कश्मीर था, बट नाउ आफ्टर द रीऑर्गेनाइजेशन एक्ट it is basically all of India. A person cannot be a next friend, a guardian of a person if he is a minor, he is an opposite party in the suit, he has not given consent in writing, all of the above. In which section of the Hindu Succession Act 1956 the law of Mitakshara can be incorporated? Section 6. The chief elements necessary to constitute a crime are a human being, an evil intent, injury to another human being or society, all of the above. Dealer includes a person who is engaged in building bodies for attachment of gases, yes, and repair of motor vehicles, yes, business hypothecation, leasing of hire purchase, सब सही है. ये Motor Vehicles Act में mostly you will be able to find this definition. Under Section 25 of the Land Acquisition Act, the amount of compensation awarded by the court shall not be less than the amount awarded by the collector under Section 2. The undertaking contained in a promissory note to pay certain sum of money is unconditional. Recently, in which case the Kerala High Court held that a university grant commission criterion which allowed certain relaxation in marks of reserved categories is violation of Section 16 Clause 1 of the Constitution. ये नायर का केस था, या सी ऑप्शन ए, नायर सर्विस सोसाइटी versus UGC. In which of the following cases it was said that unless a right of appeal is clearly given by the statute, it does not exist? ये Zair Hussain Khan versus Khurshid Jain. Which of the following sections deal with the provision relating to maximum period for which an under trial prisoner can be detained? 36A. To make the criminal harmless by supplying him those things which he lacks and to cure him of those drawbacks which made him to commit crime is known as reformative or rehabilitative or corrective theory of punishment. Pakala Narayan Swamy versus Emperor is a reading case law in dying declaration. ये बहुत ही landmark case है. You should at least read it once. Who are the partners in a bill of exchange? Payee and drawer and drawee all. So both A and B. Income which acquire or arise outside India but are directly received into India are taxable in case of all the assesses. A surgeon, knowing that a particular operation is likely to cause death of Z, who suffers under a painful complaint, but not intending to cause Z's death, intending in good faith Z's benefit, performs that operation on Z with Z's consent. A has committed no offense. It is contained in Section 88 of IPC. Questions like these you will get in the illustration of your Bear Act. A Hindu's widow, if there are more than one, shall take one share for all the widows. बेसिकली वो एक शेयर में सबको डिवाइड हो जाएगा. सेक्शन 112 of Indian Evidence Act provides that a child would be treated as legitimate if after the dissolution of marriage he or she has been born within 280 days. Which of the following sections enables the court to cancel the bond and bail bond? 446A. A reference can be made during the pendency. The subordinate court refers the case to the High Court for the latter's opinion on a question of law. The right of equality before law under Article 14 is subject to the restriction of reasonable classification. The distinction between sections 299 and 300 was made clear by Melville J. in Rego SS Govinda. Any person aggrieved by an order made by the disciplinary committee by the Bar Council of India under section 36 or 37 of the Advocates Act may refer an appeal to the Supreme Court. A perpetual injunction can only be granted by the decree at the hearing upon merit of the suit. The provision relating to abolishment of untouchability, Article 17. Under Section 115, in the exercise of its divisional jurisdiction, the High Court can do which of the following things? To call for the record of any case which has been decided by any court subordinate to the High Court. In joint trial, the evidentiary value of confession of a co-accused affecting himself and others has been discussed by the Supreme Court in Kashmira Singh versus State of MP. Maintenance application under Section 18, Clause 2 of the HAMA is filed under the District Court. Which of the following belong to the category of direct tax, income tax, and gift tax? The theoretical powers to amend the Constitution has been given to the members of Parliament and state legislatures by Article 368. Under Section 114, a person can apply for review of judgment when he is aggrieved by a decree order from which an appeal is allowed but no appeal is allowed. He is aggrieved by a decree order from which no appeal is allowed. He is aggrieved by decision on reference sub se, all of the above. In which of the following cases Supreme Court of India opined that the bail is the surety and the jade is an exception? AB landmark holding the landmark case vita, and that is Moti Ram versus State of MP. The provisions relating to compoundable offence is provided under Section 320, under which section of CPC option for settlement of dispute is provided outside the court. This is 89, Section 89, Clause 1. Last question for this paper. Where a magistrate of the first class passes only a sentence of fine not exceeding rupees 100 against this order, where an appeal shall lie? The answer is none of the above. Okay, that was it. Then in the next class, let us start with the December 2017 paper. Thank you.